Here are the great things about a homemade barbecue sauce. It is flat out easy, way easier than you think it is. You can change it up every time you do it with your own ingredients. There's no high fructose corn syrup in it.
Lady in red is dancing with me, cheek to cheek.
Yeah. That stuff is the worst. And I'm also making a second barbecue sauce, which is a Carolina mustard-based barbecue sauce. Without any further ado, let's get into the ingredients for the regular barbecue sauce. This isn't gonna be regular barbecue sauce. 2 cups of ketchup. That is our base, our beginning. Now, there are ketchups out there that are high fructose corn syrup free. You just have to look at the ingredients. 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar, 5 tablespoons of sugar, 3/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika. You can use regular if you want a smoky flavor. 1/2 tablespoon of onion powder and 1/2 tablespoon of black pepper. 1/2 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. You want a tablespoon of Dijon. Now I've also got myself a couple poblano peppers. Now you can omit these if you want to, or you can change up the peppers and use whatever kind of pepper you want. So I'm just adding this to add a little bit darker color and to get a little bit of that poblano flavor. It's going to complement our barbecue sauce really well. Now I made this exact recipe minus the poblanos a few years ago in a video, and I'll link that in the video in the description, but I also used a maple bourbon barrel stout in it, as well as a Carolina Reaper hot sauce. And it was fantastic, probably one of the best barbecue sauces I've ever made / had. I'm gonna drop about a teaspoon, maybe 2 teaspoons of Louisiana hot sauce in here. It's not very hot. It's just gonna add that acidity that I want and also a little bit of spice. The folks at Messermeister sent me a whole care package of knives, like not even asking me to make a video about them or anything. They just said, we don't expect anything. If you want, just feature our knives. And I'm like, okay, well, that's so nice of you. They sent me so many knives. This French chef knife is probably one of the most comfortable chef knives that I've ever held. The weight is so evenly distributed and the handle is so smooth. It's just got a really great feel to it, and the steel is very heavy steel, and that is super important when you're cutting your veg. And yeah, it's a sharp daddy. These poblanos, they don't need to be perfect because we're gonna use the immersion blender. And if you don't have an immersion blender, you can use any kind of blender you want just to kind of blend these babies up. But an immersion blender is really great because it will help blend the sauce really well together. All right. Now we're just gonna turn these sideways. We're just gonna give them a rough chop. Just go slow, not a race. Stir that up in there and then we will blend. My wife was inside helping me out big time by assembling all the ingredients for the Carolina sauce. We've got 1 cup of yellow mustard, 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1/4 cup of brown sugar. That's a cool color. 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 teaspoon of hot sauce. In this case, we're gonna use a little more Louisiana. A teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Mix and combine, and let's go put both of these babies on the stove. Okay, friends, for the Carolina sauce, you're gonna get that on the stove under medium heat, and we wanna get it to a really light bubble. And then we're gonna let that simmer over low for about 10 to 15 minutes until it starts to thicken slightly. And if you want to add a little bit more spice to this, feel free. You can add your own hot sauces. You can add different peppers. Change it up as you want to. Add a little bit more brown sugar if you want it sweeter. And then once the sauce reaches how thick you want it, just pull it off and put it in a jar and let it cool. Okay, when you are immersion blending, it's pretty simple. Put it inside your sauce and push the button. I'm totally okay with this having some chunks in it. I just want to chop them up into little tiny chunks. We're just going to bring this to a light bubble, put it down on low, and let it simmer for 10 to 20 minutes until we have our desired consistency. Okay, now I've put the more traditional style, it's not traditional at all, on my pulled pork. Let's give this a try. Ooh, oh, that is heartwarming. At the end of the coleslaw video, I tasted the coleslaw right before this. So I've got that tang in my mouth from the coleslaw mixed with this barbecue sauce. It's so good. That is happy. Let's taste the mustard base. Now, I have always been a huge fan of Carolina style mustard based barbecue sauces. And in most cases, I like it even more. Immediate. Yeah. That is just righteous flavor. Just absolutely righteous. It's so good. The tang of the mustard base is so good. It complements the Cajun and the brown sugar and the butter so well. I think I like that the best. No, I know I like that the best. So that is how I make my homemade barbecue sauces. It's not much, guys. You can do it yourself and you can make as much as you want and you'll never have to buy barbecue sauces again. Not that barbecue sauce is a pain because I have a bottle sitting in my fridge right now. My parents just got back from Austin, Texas, and they brought me a bottle of Ironworks barbecue sauce as well. So I've got that to go to. If you want to make your own barbecue sauce, I highly encourage you to give it a try. It's super simple. You can change up the ingredients how you want to and make it your own. And that's what's great about it. As always, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. And make sure you check out the last episode in this series, the coleslaw one. Okay, let's go eat the rest of this food.
Never will forget the way